Who's ready to roll, guys? Blake Cousins here. Welcome back, world. I am live reporting at Third Phase of Moon, and it is going to be a wild ride tonight, people. Let me tell you, it's good to be back. A lot of, I'd have to say, bad news going on around the internet. Just people don't know how to report the real stuff. There's a lot of old stories going around being portrayed that it's new news. Let me tell you, check your sources, check your facts. Third Phase of Moon is a place to get the facts from the people, the public, just like you, that call in, which is quite amazing, from around the world. That's why we do this Friday show every Friday. We want to hear from you, the public. And what's amazing is that you call in and you never know what you're going to hear tonight, because we do not vent anything. We just go live, because you just never know what you're going to get, which is what it's all about. And that's why I got a feeling there are some big powers out there that want to shut it down. They don't like freedom of speech, especially when it comes to this UFO phenomenon happening right now, let me tell you. So we had some rocky points on our radio show over the past few weeks, but I got a feeling we're going to run it live, because we have a backup system going. We shut it down, we rebooted everything, and found a source that wasn't supposed to be there. So we got rid of them and set back something they might not like, let me tell you that. So we're ready to roll. Third Phase of Moon, Blake Cousins, everybody stand by. We'll be right back. Lots of stuff going on in Los Angeles, California. We were there, and a lot of information coming in, and we're going to get it out to you as fast as we can. But before we do that, let's get to the public, people. You, the eyewitnesses, the experiencers, the invited. This is what it's all about, getting information. And we have all kinds of callers that want to call in tonight. And if you've got something you want to share for the first time to the world, let me tell you, it's not easy sharing this. Call in 347-934-0378. We await your information. Let's go to an anonymous caller right now. I don't know who they are. Let's bring them in. Hello, you there? All right. We're going to move on if you don't say hello. All right. Gotta go. More. Let's bring this in. Let's bring in this caller. See if they're still there. I think it's here. Area code 765. We're here. We're live. Welcome to the show. Your name, where are you calling in from, sir? Thank you.
Hi, I'm Patrick. I'm calling in from Anderson, Indiana. And I listen to the show religiously. I love it. And you guys are the truth. And there's just been a lot of crazy stuff going on. I grew up my whole life staring at this light tower before I went to sleep every night, and they would do military drills out in the country. I live real deep in the country, and I was out of my mom's the other day because I don't live there anymore. That's my old house, and they were running some crazy military drills out there that I've never seen before in my life. And I just seen complaints that I've never even, I don't even know if they were planes, to be honest. One of them, I can understand how people think they're like different shapes and stuff, because the view that I got of the UFO type was at one angle like a cigar, and at the other angle it was like saucer shape. And this was actually during daylight. So I don't know what's going on, but something's happening over Indiana.
Patrick, when did this happen exactly? And can you give me cross streets reference exactly where you were? We need the details. Thanks.
Oh, yeah, this was North Anderson, Indiana, Huff Drive and State Road 9. And that's where they do all their drills. We know that's a fact. And it's in the Perkinsville, Frankton area also. And some crazy stuff's been going down. And then also, I was looking at the moon, and it was almost like it was a flicker, like they were hiding something. It was strange. But that, other than that, things have been going down pretty strange around here. Glowing lights that just disappeared. And it's just, it's crazy out here.
You know, I got a feeling there's some military action going on. A lot of these UFO sightings are just basically the new tech that they're not sharing with us right now. And obviously they have to do it for security reasons. But then I do believe there is reverse engineered alien technology behind it. So if they're going to use it, well, give some of it to us. I know we're getting some trickle down, these cell phones and all the new technology coming in. 20, 30 years ago, you would never even think what's happening right now with the technology. So there is trickle down, but this free energy needs to be trickled down a lot quicker. Patrick, thanks for calling in. We're going to go to another caller. Let's get to it. 407. We're going to try and get to all callers tonight. 407. You there?
Hey, how are you doing?
Hey, pretty good. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Calling from Orlando, Florida.
All right, you're coming in a little staticky. You got a UFO sighting you want to share tonight?
It's kind of crazy over here in Orlando. A lot of things going on with a lot of weird stuff with little orbs going around. And I don't know about the bases around here in Orlando, but it's crazy.
All right, Matt. Give me some details. What's crazy? What are you seeing?
The orbs are going red, or really bright, and then they just dim out and just flash away. Like, wow, what's going on? And I'm like, okay, I think I saw a star. I'm thinking, or what else? And my wife comes across like, wake up, hon, look at this. And she sees it, and it goes away. I'm like, what is going on? Like, what the heck? But, I know in Florida, here in Orlando, there's a lot of military bases, whatever. I'm thinking there's probably them or something going on. I don't know if they are doing stuff or checking out stuff. It's just pretty amazing to me, though.
All right. So, Florida has a lot of bases out there. There's a lot of sightings. And there are some spectacular videos over the past few years that we've received right here at Third Phase Moon. And, yeah, the orbs. The orb thing kind of is getting old to me a little bit. I do like broad daylight shots. And, yeah, obviously there's energy, plasma orbs out there. And people are capturing all the time. But you know what? A lot of people are just dismissing them as Chinese lanterns or hot air balloons. But let me tell you, we just posted up a video recently of a major UFO chase, a high-speed chase on our Third Phase Moon channel. You're going to have to take a look at that. I might even share some of this when we're sharing this radio show on our Third Phase of Moon. It was incredible. A high-speed chase on the freeway while a UFO was just tracking along, and then all of a sudden a second UFO appears, and it begins. It almost is like a straight out of a movie is what I call it. Everybody go take a look at that if you can. It's pretty amazing. If you could share the link on the chat line, anybody help me out here. Appreciate the call in. We got something. It looks like we had a European caller, somebody from Europe calling in. That's a bit tricky. Try call back. We like Europe too. We want to bring in all the people from the world. Let's bring them in. 618, you there?
Yeah, this is Brewer Mouse. How you doing, Blake?
Hey, pretty good, man. Thanks for calling in. Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in currently from the Chicago area, and I've been up here doing a little bit of business, but I heard about your conversations about portals and stuff. It's absolutely fantastic stuff, X points and things like that. But I wanted to share with you, I did have a interview with Andrew Berlagio, if I'm pronouncing that right. He was maybe 12, 13 years old and was participating in those programs.
Well, yeah, the time traveler that was basically over there at the one of Lincoln's speeches, one of the most famous, I think, the Gettysburg. I'm not exactly sure, but he was there in that photograph. Is that the same fellow we're talking about?
Yeah, actually, he comes off as a little bit strange online because of his claims. However, after speaking directly to him, it turns out that he is a lawyer in federal courts. He works out of Washington and Washington, D.C. He has a lot of credibility in his professional field, and then he comes out with this. It seems completely, against his own wishes in order to keep that. So I honestly have a real belief in part of his story. I think that some of it, because of his age, may have been staged in order to protect the information that they were using this stuff. But the technical aspects of the story holds true to many other stories, including abductees.
Well, yeah, I've spoken with him, and he seems very legit. It's just it's just hard to prove that you're a time traveler just because of this black and white photograph. And he gives other elements to his story that kind of backs him up, which I have to give him credit because, like you say, he has some kind of respectability, and why would he go out to destroy his career saying this kind of outlandish statement? Obviously, there's an enigma behind the fella.
Well, that's facing everybody that is a professional that actually wants to, discuss UFOs at all. We have astronauts. Mitchell was claiming about it. Armstrong came 1 second close to just telling someone outright. You can catch these things in the videos and stuff like that you can find. But the biggest problem, I think, is the fact that as soon as we answer the question, are they there or have these people actually seen them, do we go ahead and give them that credibility? What is the next question we have to start asking? Like, who are they? And exactly what work are they doing here? Because obviously just sitting in the sky doing nothing is a great sightseeing tour. Are we a zoo to them? It becomes a real enigma. But I've mentioned seeing UFOs out of PA before, and she actually has a photograph or a video showing a UFO actually doing work in the ultraviolet or infrared range. It was visible, but the UFO, it was not visible in the normal range. And the work it was doing was not visible. However, it did shoot a beam of light in the infrared and what appeared to be tracking something along the ground. These beam of lights have been reported from abductees using type of stun gun, having different effects such as weightlessness and stuff like that as well. Some of that I can vouch for. The effect, that is, not necessarily the gun itself, but my father was a radio mechanic in World War II and actually set up a lot of the glide scopes and actually hand-built some of the transmitters and radar units they were using. When they were setting up these radar units, it was completely experimental. They really didn't know what they were doing. They had a lot of theory, and they had a lot of things not to do. Well, when my father got up to about 62, 63 years old, he suddenly emptied out the back of our house, and due to some experiments that we had using Tesla coils and the things that he was told not to try, we tried them. And one particular experiment that we had, we actually had a rather large commotion. If you remember when the Lamont refinery blew up, it was a few weeks before that. They also had a news blip that something had occurred and had showed up on radar. Well, it happened to be, or not radar, but satellite. It happened to be my father and my accident. He told me to bring it slowly down. I misinterpreted. I powered off a Tesla coil in the discharge. It caused an EMP as well as some very other strange effects that John out of Canada, what was his name?
Yeah, that would be John Hutchinson, the Hutchinson effect. Yeah, I got you. You know, that these experiments and experimental technology is quite amazing. And there are a lot of young people out there right now experimenting with technology. They've got goals, they've got inspiration to break the code, I would say. The code to everlasting life, free energy, no sickness, levitation, whatever, you name it, it's all there, and they're going to crack that code. And they have, they're not going to be stopped. They're not going to be stopped, and they're going to do it for a good reason. This is a good thing. The young generation's going to crack it. Okay, thanks for the call-in, sir. We got to get to so many callers. They're just lining up. I want to get to this other caller. It's been waiting around for a while. Let's bring him in. 775, you're live. Third Phase Moon, welcome to the show.
Oh, hello, Third Phase. I just wanted to send a message from Facebook. I just want to know if it got in to you.
What do you got?
It was about a UFO that had went into the ocean about 4 or 5 years back, and that it appeared again in 2015. And I just wanted you to see that message that I sent you, because it kind of goes into that theory that you had about the underwater base, UFO base.
Absolutely. You know what? I go over every single email that I receive via my Gmail, via Facebook, Twitter. I look at it, and there's so much that comes in. I can't respond back to everybody, but yeah, the theory, it's not a theory. It's a fact. There's an underwater base off the coast of Malibu, and you could see it for yourself on Google. And there are a lot of UFOs or USOs exiting and entering the Pacific Ocean. Thousands of eyewitnesses. We're just there. I was off the Malibu coast. I was talking to people. They shared many encounters, and they all believe that NASA's covering something up because they would know. They would know. Thanks for the call in. And yeah, if you have anything to share, Facebook is a good place to start on our Third Phase of Moon. Blake Cousins, Third Phase of Moon Facebook channel. Let's bring in more callers. Let's get to it. 801. Welcome to the show.
Did you say 801?
Yep, you're live.
Hey, Blake, how's it going? This is Nathan. How are you doing today from Utah?
Pretty good, Nathan. No problem. From Utah. Yep.
Thanks for having me on the show. I know you had emailed me back to call in on last week's show, but you had some technical difficulties and stuff. Just wanted to see if maybe I had emailed you about Steve, Melissa, and Nathan, the people that you guys had interviewed about the abduction scenario, and see if you had sent an email to them with my contact information.
I may have lost that contact. That's unfortunate. Did you have a question?
Well, no, I wanted to help them out because it seemed like Melissa needed some understanding. The son, I think he's handling it pretty well, and Steve was doing pretty well as well. But I think there's a lot of things that they may need help answering that I could help them out with. And I'll be more than happy to share my story a little bit with you, because I am a contactee as well and have had plenty of experience and have shared a little bit with you.
Yeah, we're speaking about I just wanted to get it straight. We're speaking about the family that I interviewed, and they were, in California. They're hesitant of sharing their identity. So
What I would ask you, if you could contact them, I'll send you another email of my information, because I had allowed you and F1 and Andy Elias, Dr. J, to be in contact with me. But the fact being is, when you're in a contact situation with extraterrestrial biological entities, it's a forever changing event in someone's life, and it's a hard transition to understand, but ultimately it's for transformation. A little bit about my encounters. Ever since I was 2 years old, I've had my first contact experience that I remember with extraterrestrials.
Okay, let's hear it.
Well, I've kind of shared the story with you already a little bit, but I'll expand on it a lot further. So at the age of 2, I was born in Torrance, California, and my mother and father were both raised out in Utah, where I'm currently at right now. So when they had me, everything was fine and peachy. I had my grandmother from my mom's side always come to visit me and my family. Well, at the age of 2, she had came over and visited, and one particular day I was in my room playing with my toys as a young 2-year-old would, and I had 2 extraterrestrials in my room with me, and they were playing with me, and now not in the sense of playing with toys, but playing with information to allow me to understand their purpose in my life and how long they were going to be in it, which is going to be a lifetime here on this earth. So they taught me a lot of things about creation, about the soul and how it works, about how generations of sentient beings have always been around, and the expansion of consciousness. Now, basically what had happened is I was not afraid of this because I was 2 years old. It felt completely normal because you're new to everything. You don't know, we'll say on TV, about the good and the bad, and it's never been a bad situation in my life. It's been a difficult, challenging situation, and don't get me wrong, I've been times where I've been afraid, but that's a natural occurrence for anybody that will ever experience this outcome because it is something that's overwhelming. So what happened when I was 2 years old, I were talking to the extraterrestrials and said, can I introduce my grandmother to you? And they said, yes, you can. But they gave me a message beforehand, before I went to go grab her. They told me that a child's mind and consciousness is a lot stronger than it is as an adult, so they may not see what you see. And so I said, okay, that's great. I'm going to go get my grandmother. So I brought her in the room and said, I'd like to introduce you to my 2 friends. And she just looked around. She's like, where are they? I'm like, they're right here. And she just turned around and looked at me and smiled and said, you're a clever little boy. She didn't say anything for the rest of her life. She's passed on, but she gave me the sincere look that she knew what I was talking about. Now, as I grew up older and older, I found that my family members have also been involved in contact experiences as well. So it does fall in the line with family members down the road. One of my big but things I'd like to say is everybody that listens on the show is either seeking the truth, has already experienced something, either from a craft or from a physical presence with extraterrestrials. The main message is for the people that have wanted to seek this information out or have just been shown a little glimpse of what's out there is the only way that you're going to be able to continue that relationship with them is if you take time for yourself and study and understand what's going on. And this is through consciousness.
Sure. Consciousness and, getting the information, having an open mind is important. I understand where the caller's kind of going. If he had an experience starting when you're 2 years old, it's probably pretty hard to get all that out in a radio show. And that's great that people call in, and that's what I appreciate. You know what we're going to do? We're going to take a quick break. There's a lot of callers calling in, so that's what I like. We're going to get to the information. Everybody stand by. This is Blake Cousins' Third Phase of Moon. And we are back live on air, and we'll be back in just a minute. Stand by. Third Phase Moon broadcasting live, taking your calls from around the world in regards to the UFO phenomenon happening July 29, 2016. That's right, it happens 24/7, and that's why we're standing by the most watched YouTube channel in regards to this. With over 200 million views, that's a lot of eyes. So much information coming in, so much information. Let's get to it. A lot of callers. Thanks for holding on. They've been holding on for almost a half hour now. 651.
No.
Uh-oh. Yeah, 651. You there? Tone it down just a bit. Where are you calling in from? Hello?
651 from Minnesota. Hold on 1 minute. Hey, y'all talking about phenomenon story, right?
That's what we're looking for. Your name, sir. We're Third Phase of Moon, and we're looking for good UFO stories. Go ahead.
Not UFO, but I'm talking about ghosts. Shit that it happened to. I'm Asian, and I have a white boyfriend, and I never thought that he believed in what I believe in, you know. But I got a story.
All right. Let's keep the language on a down low. But hey, it's okay. Paranormal stories are fine here. We're not going to suppress stories here. Tell us where it all began, your name, and let's keep it down to about 5-10 minutes if you can. Thank you.
I'll try to keep this quick. I got back then when I used to be in high school, I got this one white boyfriend. He's a Gothic, and he's cool as hell. Told me to go sleep over. And then we go sleep. I went and sleep over at his house. He told us to go smoke some weed in the cemetery, right? So we went to the cemetery. And then, my mind, we were planning to see something. We want to see something that wasn't human, And then I got a laser. I blinked 3 times.
So you're hunting for a ghost. I got you. Go on. Let's. Yep.
My mind told me that if I blink 3 times in a tree, I will see 3 times blink back the beam. And then somehow I did that, and then it
blinked 3 times back. Now I looked at my white boyfriend. I like, what the fuck? Oh, my bad. I shouldn't cuss, but I looked at him like, what's going on? Do you see what I see? And next time I looked at him, he looked at me, he just took off. And I took off too. And then I asked him, like, did you see what I see? He's like, yeah. At this time, nobody should be at the cemetery but us. But I thought that his friends were playing tricks on me, but he was scared to death just like me. But that's...
Yeah, I got you. So, yeah, when you see something paranormal, you see a UFO, something that you've never seen before, when you have a friend there with you, you know what that means? There's a word for it. It's called priceless. That's what you want. You want somebody to be there when you're experiencing something. You know, we got to move on. We got to move on to UFOs. But, man, you know, it is really cool when you have somebody there with you, when you're witnessing anything in regards to a phenomenon of any kind. Right, people? Okay, let's move on. Thanks for the caller. We have another caller that's been holding on for a while. Let's bring him in. 281. You there?
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. Where are you calling in from? Your name?
Daniel, calling from Texas.
All right, Daniel. What's the reason for you calling in? You got something you want to share tonight?
Yeah. I just it's about a couple months ago. It was a full moon, and I was working graveyard, so I got out of after midnight. I got home to my uncle's house, and I was outside smoking a cigarette, and it was a full moon. It was a clear night, and I'm looking at the moon, and I start looking at it through my phone, because you zoom in on it and all that. And I'm looking at it, and this it looked like these lights started lighting up behind the moon, and I'm like, I'm looking at it, and I'm like, what the hell, So I start, kind of like taking pictures of it, and I'm just kind of like freaking out and just looking at it, and taking pictures of it. And then I try to zoom in because, to get a better whatever it was. And it just, like, as soon as I zoomed in, the moon got bigger on the camera, but it was pitch black behind it, like there was nothing back there. And I pulled out, and the lights came on again, and I started taking pictures of it because, it came on again. And I zoomed in again, like I said, something's going on. So, but and it just went black, like I said, there was nothing there, And yeah,
sure,
crazy,
sure. Wow, yeah. It's pretty cool. Go ahead. You got something else? Yep.
No. I mean, I'm just saying, yeah, like I look at the pictures, and it was just a very large object behind the moon, like I would say above it to the left, and it was behind the moon because, like I said, if it was in front of it, it would have blocked the moon. So it was obvious it was behind it, and it was just these lights,
So did you send it? Have you shared these photos? Did you share it with us on our Facebook, or how do we look at these photos?
I had sent a couple of photos before, because you had said, well, shoot me some photos to my Facebook, and I sent you a couple of them. But I've taken, like I said, I don't take video. I kicked myself because I didn't hit video. I just started hitting the camera because I was just kind of freaking out, I mean, it just happened like, wow, But yeah, I sent you a couple of pictures. I'll send these photos, like I said, I have them, and. But yeah, it was shocking. It was I don't know, but like I said, it was certainly a large object behind the moon, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yep.
I don't know.
Wow. The moon is a place where humans have been gazing for a long time. Basically, about 130 billion souls have been born on planet Earth so far. So that's a lot of people gazing at the sun, a lot of hours gazing at that moon. And there's a lot of UFO sightings that are experienced while people do that. And it's good that he had that camera ready. And our Facebook is a place for UFOs as well. Our Facebook, the link will be below, and that is a great place, a plethora of UFO information. A lot of callers, and I thank that caller for sharing and, having his eyes on the skies. That's what's important. Let's bring in 317. Let's bring in 317 and see if they're there. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the show. Can you turn your audio a bit down? What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Just listening in.
Gotcha. Just listening in. That's great. Let's move along. Did we bring in 561? Let's bring him in.
Wait, hold on. I'm here.
Okay, 561. You're live, Third Phase Moon. Welcome to the show.
All right. So I've encountered there's a tribe on MUFON. I'm on the UFO star, but they encountered a UFO in Tampa, Florida. It's a triangle shaped, rather a TR3B. But yeah, that's a code name for it. TR3, TR3A is now called the Black Manta.
All right. So it sounds like you know some background on this. You got to enlighten us, please. What's going on?
So I know both the Aurora and the Black projects are going on, but the Aurora the Black project, they're doing a triangle-shaped UFO. I know there was one here in St. Lucie just maybe 2 months or a month ago, but also with the blinking lights, maybe not abduction, but I think they're just hovering over us and just watching, maybe the CIA or something, maybe the government is trying to attack us or something. They're not attacking, but they're just watching us.
All right. Okay. Slow down. Is everything okay with you right now? It sounds like you have some anxiety going on right now.
Yeah. And so, because anyways, when I was flying my drone around, and I saw lights maybe in the sky, but all I saw was dark. But speaking of which, during a meteor shower, probably there was some main activity going on, probably a TR3B sightings or saucer shaped and stuff. And also, like the one I mentioned before over Tampa, I know that if you go on the website, if you go type in TR3A Black Manta on Google and search their Black project, you might search dark government or something, and then it'll show you the info, on how the project is being done. And 3A kind of looks like a stealth bomber. I was looking at Google Images, and compared to the TR3B, it's nothing like TR3A.
All right. Okay, let's do our homework, people. Let's do our homework. Let's punch in TR3A, see what comes up. I've never heard of the TR3A, so this is a kind of new information coming in. Is there something? Please help me out, people. Contact us on our About page on our YouTube channel. Our email is there. Let's do some research. Help me out. Thanks for the call, and we might have some new news on a TR3A, whatever that's all about. It's quite interesting. Okay, we're going to bring in some more callers. Thanks for calling in. We're going to bring in, 603. 603. You're at live.
Hi, I'm listening.
Just listening? No problem. Just listening is fine with me. Let's bring in another caller. 205. 205. You're live.
Hey, what's up, Blake?
Hey, how's it going? Where are you calling in from?
You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Blake.
Yep.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Yep.
It's Joe. I called in, a few months ago. Had a video. Love the show. Still a fan. Had a sighting recently. Not that recent, about a month ago. Me and a friend. I know you said you don't like or you're tired of the orb, stories, but I saw one of those for the first time. Real life. It was pretty cool. We were just looking up at the sky, saw a plane go by in this ball of light. 300 yards. What I thought was 300 yards directly above us, and it flew over us. Lasted 60 seconds, 90 seconds. Then my friend noticed it started ascending into the sky and disappeared. But it was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty neat. I never seen anything like that before in real life.
Oh man, that's great. That's great.
But yeah, I got another video on my channel on YouTube. It's just Joe Justo. If you type it in, you'll find it. If you want to check it out, one of those weird, just balls of light, just going. Saw another one, a few weeks later, got a video of it. But y'all check it out. I love the show. Continue on. I'm listening in.
Nice. That's amazing. That's what I like. Callers with new evidence. And hey, put it on your YouTube channel. Share the link. You never know. Let's go to area code 360. Let's do a full circle. You there? We're live.
Hey,
how's it going?
Blake?
You're talking to him.
Hey, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, this is Spencer down in Central Oregon.
Cool, man. Spencer, right on. All the way from Florida. What's going on?
Oh, sorry.
Oregon. Go ahead. Yep.
Yeah, I was just, a few shows back, you were talking to a guy who was talking about the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base and all the stuff going on over there around Dayton, Ohio. Yeah, well, my grandfather, he worked on the base there for a long time, and he was there during the whole infamous Roswell incident. And he's about 92, just turned 92 this month. And I finally got some stuff out of him. And he said, very stoked.
Hold on. Wait, let's save this. So this is juicy. This is juicy stuff. So you have a 92-year-old grandfather that worked, right. He knows a lot about Roswell, and finally he's spilling the beans. This is an exclusive. Have you ever told anybody this before?
No, I kind of always had assumed some stuff, but he never said anything. Our whole lives, it was just, he would usually kind of laugh it off, if I ever asked him, like, oh yeah, and then kind of completely blow it off. But he gave me some,
okay. This is great. Let's roll. Excuse me. Sorry. Let's roll with this incredible story right here, Third Phase of Moon, inside the Roswell connection. Maybe we're going to learn something tonight. Roll with it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, he's a lieutenant colonel. He fought in World War II over. He was a B-27. He's a bomber pilot. Flew all those missions, and somehow made it back through all that. And ended up, living in Dayton. He continued to live there. Some of my family still lives around there. And, he said he was there during the time where they definitely brought, a couple of the, definitely the artifacts and debris from the Roswell crash, and a couple of the bodies they brought there and stored there. I guess they have a pretty large underground complex beneath the base.
All right. Light one up, everybody. Go ahead. But this is amazing. So this is what? Could you tell us your dad's name or your grandfather's name?
Dad. Yeah, his name's Lieutenant Colonel Robert L. Brandt.
Wow. Okay. Everybody's. This is important. This is why we open up the lines. This is live. This is Third Phase of Moon. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. No, I've been wanting to call you back and tell you more about this. It was just assumptions most of my life, and he finally divulged a little bit to me. Not a whole lot, but enough to confirm that a lot of people said that they did indeed bring debris and reverse engineer it there, actually at Wright-Patterson instead of Area 51, and he said that was absolutely true. I wish I had some more really detailed stuff, but
So he talked about underground bases. He talks about it goes pretty deep. So I'm sure he gave you a little bit more detail on that. Let's hear that.
Yeah, he said, the base is about, at the time he was there, and I assume by now they've expanded it. I could only assume, but it had about 6 floors beneath the main, ground level, and various pretty large what do you call it, just huge open rooms for just working on stuff and laying parts out and trying to figure out what's what.
So basically, he was playing. He was, 92. He finally told you a little bit of the truth, and basically, a little bit is enough for you because he's a believer that there were aliens recovered from Roswell, and we're not alone, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, he physically saw them. I mean, he wasn't part of everything that was going on there, but he had full access to and full clearance to all those levels, and a few of the people that worked under him were on that project, and it's kind of interesting. I'm hoping I get more info from him.
Wow, he's still alive. So this is great. The information could still be flowing. And do you ask him what they look like? Well, obviously, when he said he saw them, you ask the next question, what are they like? What do they look like?
Yeah, and they were pretty stereotypical, of what you see, on like the alien autopsy. He said the only difference is they vary in height. He said a couple of them were, two of them were pretty tall, like about 5.5, close to 6 feet, and then the third one was pretty short, maybe around like 4 feet.
So this is quite incredible. This is from a source, from the scene, high-ranking official that had top secret clearance, and now if well, let's just say this: people sign contracts. There's classified material. But you know what? The guy's 92 years old. He could say what he wants, and that's what he needs to do. He needs to get it out. He needs to get it out, and that's what's amazing to me. Yeah, you got to thank your dad or your grandfather, excuse me, from the whole world, because he needs to give us more information while he's still around, man. So
I know.
Give him the heads up.
I will for sure, Blake. Yeah, I will get everything I can out of him. Trust me.
Man, you call back. You have him come on the show. Have him come on the show. I'm sure. Call in next week, Friday. Get close to him. Say, man, this is where you got to share this evidence, and get it out there. So if you can, that'd be great. Appreciate it.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, I'll do what I can.
All right, man. Everybody stand by for that, and thank you for that call. That's quite amazing. Confirmation. That's confirmation, in my opinion. Let's go to an anonymous caller. You there? We're going to give you one more shot. Say hello if you hear me. Hello? I guess that's just somebody listening in, and some weird sounds going on over there. Let's bring them in. Let's bring in 606. 606, you there?
Yes. I just wanted to share a sighting that I saw. It was about 3 weeks ago, I guess. And the odd thing was, me and a friend of mine, I live in Tennessee, and the county I live in has two cities that are about 9 miles apart from one another. He lives in one and I live in another. And we were talking, we were outside. It was about 6:30 in the afternoon. And anyway, he said, "Oh, my God, look up at the sky." And I looked. I said, "Where at?" And he kind of gave me the direction. But when I first looked up, I instantly saw it because I just happened to look in that general direction. And there was this, I couldn't make out what the shape was, but it was up almost, I'd say about as high as what a 747 would fly. But it went from one horizon to the next horizon, like out of sight, basically, in a matter of about 7 seconds, I'm going to guess, extremely fast. And anyway, what it did was it was like silver and had the light was kind of shining from the sun onto it. I guess that's what lit it up. But I mean, you could see it just like you could see a jet in the sky. But anyway, and when it got about right overhead, it flashed extremely bright, and it looked like it increased in size. But I know that was just maybe a visual effect from the flash. But and it didn't flash. I know what everybody's thinking. They're thinking, "Oh, it's just the way the sun hit it." But no, that's absolutely not what happened. it lit up like the sun was kind of setting at the time, and it lit up. And we both just, we're on the phone looking at it at the same time, and we're far away from each other, about 9 miles. And I just thought it was just, it definitely was not an airplane. It had to be going about 20,000 miles an hour, I guess. And anyway, I don't have any explanation for it. It definitely was not a satellite, definitely. So I don't really know what it could have been, but that's just nice. I'd share that with you.
Absolutely. 20,000 miles an hour. I've seen things like that, and they jump really fast. They almost basically leave a streak of light behind them, and then some of them move in opposite directions. Like they take that 90-degree angle, which is quite amazing. So what do you think it was? Was it one of ours, or was it something extraterrestrial altogether?
Well, I know there's our technology is way more advanced than what we know it is, and it could have been one of ours, but I don't think they would have had it, for the public to see. And if it could have done that, it could have done it at a higher altitude, where people wouldn't have seen it so easy. So I don't think it was one of ours. And on top of that, it just look, if you're in a flat land area and you see one horizon and then behind you is the other horizon, well, and it was actually going from south to north, actually, that's the direction. But yeah, it was, it just kind of came over the horizon, and then it went all the way out of sight in just 6 seconds. And I mean, it takes a jet, several minutes to do that, about, 20 minutes easy. So, but yeah, this is about 6 or 7 seconds.
Damn, that's fast. And no sonic booms of any kind, perfectly silent. This is heavy tech. This is heavy tech going on. Let's see. We got so many callers. I don't know if we're going to be able to get to them. I think we got one more caller that we could get to. Let's bring him in. And thanks for calling. 516. We're live. And you're on Third Phase of Moon. Welcome to the show.
Hey, is this Blake?
Yeah, you're talking to him. This is Blake.
Hey,
yeah,
what's
welcome.
going on? I've been on hold for like 45 minutes. It's Jeanette. How are you this evening?
Doing good. Good. Hey, thanks for calling in. Yep, we're live. Hey, thanks for calling in. You got something to share tonight? Appreciate
I'm looking forward to this. I don't know where to begin, but I'll begin. I live on Long Island, and the first experience I remember is when I was 6 years old. I lived in a town called Levittown. It's an American suburb. And my mom always seemed to put my bed by the window. I don't know why. And we had a carport, right outside the window, which it wasn't a garage, but like a covering where your car could go underneath. And I have reason to believe that this craft had landed on the carport, and they swiped me. They must have taken me out through the window. And we lived our backyard was a schoolyard. And all I remember is walking through the mud, coming back into my house. And they took me after my grandfather left to take my grandmother to work to the train station. She worked in Manhattan. And I was alone in the house at the time, and that's when they took me. And I remember turning around, and I saw this spaceship in the schoolyard, and these two creatures, these two dudes, like, staring at each other, and they were mad at each other. And they seemed to be arguing back and forth, and they didn't see me looking at them. So I walked in the house, and the next thing I remember, my grandfather shaking me. Get up, get up. And I'm like 6 years old. I'm like in kindergarten, first grade. And he's like, why are your feet all muddy, And I couldn't answer him. And he's like, how did you get that dress on? I was wearing a dress that was in I was 2 years old when I was wearing that dress in my baby picture. It was all the way up in my grandmother's closet where I could not reach it. For some reason, these guys put me in that dress, and my grandfather only saw my footprints coming into the house and not out. And he's a World War II veteran. He's long since passed, And that memory has been in my mind for the longest time. And then the next experience I had, there was this woman. she was wearing all white, layered, transparent, but thin layers of clothes, very tall, long, dark hair. And she said, "Come with me, Jeanette, come with me." And I'm walking down the stairs. Now, mind you, this is the same house. I get to the bottom of the stairs. This woman was so beautiful. But my mom had the same hair, the long, dark, black, brown hair. So I looked at this woman and I screamed, "You're not my mother." And I'm looking out the back door and I see this silver craft out there. She wanted me to go with her, and I'm always wondering for the rest of my whole life, what if I had gone? What would they have done? Where would I have gone? And I ran back up the stairs. I woke up the whole house, And that was an almost abduction. And then we soon moved out. We moved out of that house, and there wasn't anything for the longest time. And then as I got older, I saw, when I was in my 20s, there was this orange dot in the northern sky, and we're driving. My boyfriend and I were in a brand new convertible at the time. I was in my early 30s, and I see this orange dot, and I'm like, "What is that?" And it came closer and closer and closer, and all of a sudden there's a UFO, a spaceship right over our car. 2,000 witnesses. It was in the back of UFO Update in Omni magazine. And it was over our car. And I'm screaming at him, "Look up, look up, look up." He's not looking. He was afraid he was going to get into an accident. Are you there, Blake? Hello?
Yeah. You know what? This is I'm here. Hold on. Stand by. Let's just say we're going to have to extend this radio show just for a bit so we can get your story in, because this is quite amazing. To hear the rest of it, stand by, and we're going to be posting it to our YouTube channel after this. So everybody stay tuned for that. Let's get on with the story, and if it cuts out, remember, we're going to be posting the rest of this on our YouTube channel. Let's roll. Welcome back. Go ahead.
Hello, Blake? Hello?
Yeah. Do you read me? Hello?
I'm here. I'm sorry about that. This is the most recent sighting I had. Last May, I was in my other house. My husband and I just bought a new house, and we had moved. We were in Levittown, and in the southwest sky, I was taking out the trash, and that's the original message I sent you. I see this red and white cylindrical craft in the southwest sky. I raced in the house. Now, why I didn't grab my cell phone is I'm still kicking myself for it. I could have had a picture of this thing. I grabbed my binoculars instead. I go to put them to my eyes, and as soon as I did, it just shot off to the east, went up and behind a tree in my neighbor's backyard. P.S. They shot that tree down that very day, that afternoon. That was last year, and that was the most flipped-out experience I ever had, and I'm still regretting not grabbing a cell phone. But I have other experiences as well. I had a gigantic thunderstorm. I was renting an apartment in Levittown, and there was a thunder and lightning storm. I was looking out the window, and my backyard was a baseball field. And as the lightning struck, I saw a craft in the lightning in the sky. And then I see these little guys running through my backyard, and I'm like, wow. And they didn't scare me at all. But then when I fell asleep, I was in a craft, and it was all white walls. It was cylindrical. There were people sitting in chairs, and they were all in their pajamas, and they were half asleep. But I wasn't asleep. I was very alert. And there were, teal blue leather, chairs. And I remember being on this craft. And then I just, I woke up, and that's all I remember from that. I don't remember anything else. And then when I was renting the that were around my bed. And from what I heard, that these guys, I don't really know much about reptilians, but all I could say is that when they came to my bed, they didn't scare me. As a matter of fact, I felt empathy for them. I felt bad for them. And I asked them, well, what do you want, And,
this is unfortunate because our radio has come to an end. We're just having to wrap this up. But what I want to do, so what I want you to do is come back next week, Friday. Call in early. Let's get a little bit more information on the information that they want to share with you, because this is really amazing that you called in. Okay? Are you still there? Uh-oh. I think we lost her. She just cut out. Well, if she's listening right now, join us and come back next week, Friday, because we'll be here. That's what we do. We're live and we're transmitting, and that's what we do every Friday, and this is very important. We want to hear your story in regards to this UFO phenomenon. We invite the public. We invite you to share your stories to the world via Third Phase of Moon live radio and our YouTube channel. Make sure you stay tuned for updates daily. You never know what's going to come in. Blake Cousins, keep your eyes on the skies, everybody. We're not alone. Third Phase of Moon.